Well, hello, folks. It is I, Rex Presenton, and welcome back to this episode of Finding the Fighters. We are here again with another episode. So again, we have our guests here in the studio with us today, and I cannot wait to talk with them all. I am so excited. So do stay tuned, and I hope you all enjoy. Well, hello, folks. Rick Singleton here, and our first guest has arrived here at the studio with us. So let us bring them up onto the stage. Let's have ourselves a chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
That.
hello.
Well. Hello.
Bit of an entrance there.
I occasionally like to have a flair for the dramatic,
Oh, of course.
and also portals are eternally I'm looking for fucky.
Of course, of course.
So do I just like sit on?
Yeah, just take a seat and we'll get things started. Now, as always,
Out of velvet wood.
yeah, I mean, it's a nice leather couch, you know. A lot of different people have sat upon this couch, and it has been through a lot. I'm surprised it has held up to the varying sizes of people. Because, man, some of them are quite massive.
Must have some good artificers working on these on this couch then.
Of course, definitely. Yes, yes. But, yes, well, why don't you introduce yourself to the camera as well as those watching at home so we can get to know you a little bit about who you are.
Would you like my full title? Or just my regular
I
name?
mean, whatever you're most comfortable with sharing on live TV.
Well, in that case, I am Gideon, Storm's Herald, voice of the Storm God, Cord. Tripped over my own words there.
No, it's alright.
apologize.
No, I get it. A lot of people here tend to have that stage fright, you know, in front of a camera, there's like a live studio audience, you have like all these people just staring at you, so it can be quite overwhelming at times, so I can get that.
Yeah, this is normally I'm just the fighter. This is new.
Yes. Most of the people here usually are fighters. You don't really get a time in the spotlight. Don't get a chance to really talk much about themselves or share of their, great fantastical deeds. But I do like to provide that. But again, it's nice to have a place to where you can there's that space available to share amongst fellow adventurers. I mean, some of you go to like bars or to chat about your great escapades, but like only reaches a small audience. Word of mouth. This way it's more reaches a more wider range of people.
I will admit, I'm very much new to the exploring of this connected worlds ordeal. It's
Yes,
overwhelming, but interesting.
Yes, it is for a lot of people, but those that have been here for a few months slowly just get into the swing of things. But no, that's just. So, you were one of the newer combatants of Fight Finder that recently showed up, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I sort of stumbled upon the hub, and from the hub, all the very colorful worlds and people that inhabit them.
Mm-hmm. And what made you want to join Fight Finder in the first place? What got you interested in the whole gladiatorial fighting that they showcase?
Wow, I mean, fighting is sort of something I really enjoy, and to learn that there is people across the world who are unified by that enjoyment of the fight, it drew me to them.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to learn more, and well, it's been a few weeks now. I think I found my people.
I
Well,
see.
I
I see.
hope I found my people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, there are a lot of combatants that are quite skilled in various ways of combat, so it's a good way to meet those of different styles to combat against, and a lot of them seem to be quite close in how they do it. So, mm-hmm.
Hmm. Although that pyramid head, that green pyramid head looking guy, he's don't like him. Or the automaton, that spiky head one,
Hmm.
uh, the, can't remember, is it Mecha? I think it's Mecha. I don't trust either of them too. They are rude.
I
So
see.
rude.
I see. And with the few weeks you've been in Fight Finder, have you developed any type of goals or ambitions that you wish to achieve or accomplish, or are you still trying to just figure things out?
Honestly, goals is mostly just to have fun.
Hmm.
And, test my abilities, test other people's abilities, and work up from there. Work from strength to strength.
Hmm. I see. I see. Yes. Yes. A lot of these combatants, they have most are trying to prove themselves or wanting to improve their own skills through fighting other people who are either stronger than them or use similar tactics to try and learn from them in different ways to adopt new styles and all that.
Yeah, I feel like my skills are getting a bit stale compared to some of the more colourful fighters I've seen.
Mm,
I've much to learn.
right. Mm-hmm. And through some of the fights that you've been in, are there any that have stood out to you? Sing- some that are like ones that would stick with you forever, that are like would be like a memorable one that you would look back on in the future.
Hmm. Oh, who was it? It was the one-eyed alien. Uh, um, he was the first real fight I was in. It was one of the official ones in it was a like a blasted desert. I cannot remember his
Oh,
name. He looked.
I think I know what you're talking about. He was on my show a bit ago. I think his name was Eros.
Yes, yes. He was the first guy I fought, and he's the one who his skills stood out to me,
Mm-hmm.
fairly similar to my own, and he also seemed to enjoy the thrill of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of him, I've fought that automaton 2 or 3 times, and every time my ass gets handed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Steel, for a draconian, he's quite likable. I can get on with him. He's a good swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
We should learn more from him as well. But no, yeah, Eros is the one that stands out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't forget it.
Mm-hmm. And did Eros's skills in combat kind of like, how you say, um, set the stage for what to expect from Fight Thunder, since he was one of your first, bouts?
Oh, very much so. I was expecting. I don't know. I went in expecting a few flashy, a few flashy abilities, a few flashy attacks here and there.
Right.
I was not expecting all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Though I can't really say much myself. I mean, people have probably seen me fight. They know I can summon bolts of lightning. I can dash as quick as, you know.
Mm-hmm. And
But
and this does lead into my next question, but um, you've noticed that a lot of the fighters have different skills, martial prowess, abilities, and whatnot. What skills do you bring to the table that separates you from the rest that will help you claim a victory in these bouts?
well, I am a herald of a lightning god.
Hmm.
I My powers are not so much derived from myself, but from someone else.
So
And
you're a paladin of sorts, um, in a sense.
I guess you could say so, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to throw people off. They're always looking at me when I'm fighting. And they should be looking above from where the lightning strikes.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I don't like the brag, but it always catches people out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yes, and I'm
usually.
guessing that those abilities have been very helpful in your fights and have kind of put you on equal footing, not just with your skills with the blade. Because I see you do have a sword on your hip there.
Oh yeah, my the abilities I have augment my strengths, my hits,
Mm-hmm.
how fast I move. There's nothing quite like, 1,000 volts of energy coursing through your muscles.
Oh, indeed. And that would do quite a bit for a lot of people. So have you got?
Although,
No, I was going to
sorry.
ask. Have you gotten a chance to kind of get in a sense of some of the other combatants from Fight Finder? Like, have you got at least interact with them, or more got to see a few of them fight or whatnot?
Outside of the hub fights, yeah. I noticed there is a lot, a lot more martial combatants
Mm-hmm.
use their fists than what I was. I thought it was going to be a lot of, sword and shield and maybe the occasional axe, but no, everyone seems to want to get really close and punch me in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that does seem to be how a lot of them fight. Which is quite interesting to see when in a world of magic and swords and phys- um, cybernetic augmentations
And the
and the likes. You wouldn't expect to see a lot of hand-to-hand
the
combatants, but
guns.
it is quite something to witness.
Oh yeah, and I mean, well, each one of them also. They are packing some juice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, armor absorbs some of the blows, but
Still leaves a few dents.
they leave dents. My armorer is getting rather annoyed with me.
Yes. So, in your own opinion, through the people that you've interacted with and witnessed in the arena and whatnot, are there any that you would see as a role model for people to follow, or have you not had much chance to really get a sense of the people to actually formulate an opinion like that?
I'd say give me a bit more time
Mm-hmm.
to work that one through. I mean, there are certainly fighters that I can be like, hey, this is a good one. I mean, that the rabbit fellow, the Armsy.
Yes, Amzik.
He's a good fellow.
Mm-hmm.
He he knows where he stands. Like he's not throwing around mad abilities like some of the fighters, but he can still hold his weight. And
Mm-hmm.
respect to him.
Mm-hmm. And have you found yourself finding yourself like a favorite fighter, one that you always kind of catch yourself like rooting for whenever they step onto the battlefield?
The green capped fellow. I he every time I have seen him fight, he just looks like a your regular bog standard walking human, but yet he takes punches and still keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him. Again, maybe I have a soft spot for like the underdog fighters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ones you don't expect to hold their own.
Indeed, there are a lot of those that tend to exist in Fight Finder, and it's fun to see them fight against a lot of these higher caliber opponents with all these fantastical abilities, and all they really have are their fist and whatever wits that they have, and are doing what they can to fight against these on at least equal footing, and it's very fun to see.
It's yeah, I suppose everyone likes an underdog story.
Indeed, indeed. And of course, there's the other side to this coin. But have you found yourself like, say, a bit of a rival in your eyes, someone you want to like overcome or surpass that you've encountered?
I would say yes. I don't know if he looks the same way, but that's Thomason, that Mecha Sonic, I think his name. Yeah,
Oh,
it's one
yeah.
of the machine hedgehogs.
Right.
I would like to see him taken down a peg or two.
Mm-hmm.
Knock that arrogance out of him. He's a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have to be such a asshole about it.
I see. I see. Well, that is actually all the questions I have for you today. But do you have any closing remarks? Anything you want to promote? Anyone to call personally? you have the floor is yours if to close us out.
Well, I've been hearing more and more talk of sponsors, and I am willing to, well, offer my services to them. You know, ones that take me on. You know where to find me.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming onto my show here and sitting down with me and having a nice little chat here. It was very nice to get to talk to you, Gideon.
The pleasure is all mine.
Well, I hope to see you fight more in the future, and I'm excited to see how your career goes and where things end up for you.
Thank you, thank you. And it was a pleasure to meet you.
Of course. Well, hello, folk. Greg Lexington here. And as you can see, we're in a bit of a different spot than usual, as well. This is one of our other studios. But we do have our next guest here with us, so let us introduce them and have ourselves a nice little chat. So, if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself to the camera as well as to those watching at home that may or may not know you.
Hello, I am Fenrir Luna. I am one of the newer fighters. Scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
All right. Well, if that's all you have. Then let's move on. Then so what made you want to join the 500 community in the first place?
um, well, a lot of my friends like to go to fight stuff, and I've always wanted to check it out, or at least join them in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, um, though I asked around and found out that there was ones I could go to. Specifically, I think it was Ren told me about it. Those ones I could go to, mostly unofficials, but
Mm-hmm. Yes, those unofficial events are held quite often by a lot of the community members, so it does make for more events and stuff for people to participate in when they cannot make the officials, as those are quite. They do happen frequently, but again, it is quite difficult to get a fight in at times.
yeah. Or like the for
Mm-hmm.
like ones without the like abilities I have.
Mm-hmm. Of course. And through Fight Finder, are there any goals or ambitions you want to achieve, or have you have yet to figure that out?
I do want to test my skills against people and eventually get stronger opponents if I can. I mainly joined because of the fact that kind of a what would it be called, a battle addict or whatever.
Mm.
And I'm usually like I'm a very close combat based fighter usually, but I am learning to use ranged weapons well.
Mm-hmm. And actually, this does lead into my next question, actually. So a lot of the combatants in Fight Finder, they have different skills, abilities, martial prowess, and whatnot. So, what do you bring to the table that separates you from the rest? What kind of gives you that extra edge in battle to help ensure you a victory?
I'd say my hearing and ability to heal would be a big thing, because my healing is very, very well, considering the fact that I technically have the blood of a Norse wolf Fenrir,
Hmm.
so my healing is a lot better than normal human.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, and if I look like an elf, my healing is better than an elf.
Mm-hmm.
And my healing factor is pretty much instantaneous if I can get a hold of even like a couple drops of blood.
Wow.
AKA why I have fangs.
Well, that is quite useful with the amount of bloodshed that happens in the arena. It can make for some very quick recoveries.
The cool thing is I can even use my own blood to heal if like I can't get a hold of other blood.
Quite useful. Quite useful. Mm-hmm. So, have you had a chance to fight anyone yet since you joining?
Yes, actually. And that would be Chaos.
Mm-hmm. And how was
Or
that fight?
Chaos Sonic. I did ask him afterwards how I did against him, and he said out of 10 I did a solid 8.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I did pretty good myself being able to even butt with him, considering he's a Sonic.
Mm-hmm. And what was the fight like for you?
Fast-paced was I definitely took a good few hits from him when I wasn't expecting it, because, like, he would get behind me or so. His spin dash, I'd have to say, was his kind of most annoying ability, because, it's hard to catch someone that's, like, low to the ground. And since he rolls so fast, it's hard to keep a hold on him.
And did that fight kind of set the stage for what to expect from a lot of the other combatants within Fight Finder?
Well, there's lots of diversity, I know that. Like I said, I'm mostly a close combat fighter, but I am learning range fighting. I would like to try against range opponents too at some point, if there is anyone like that. It would be nice. I think it set like my eyes on like staying against, like, for right now, people of a 6th level. Because that is what level I am. But eventually I'd like to try against higher level people. Once I'm, like, sure enough that I'm strong. I think I fought
No, go ahead.
I think I fought with a level 10 at one point, the robot guy, the guy with a big robot armor. But it wasn't against him, it was with him and like and Chaos with we were fighting against one of the enemies Ren brought for us.
I see.
Basically in a 3v1.
Oh yes, I have witnessed that a lot of combatants of lower levels taking on those of higher levels more and to test their caliber and see what they are capable of taking on some of the more higher weight class opponents.
Yeah. I did at the very end, before we had to end our little session, whatever, I did use illusion magic, which I don't do much because it wears me out. much, but I use illusion magic to become like a type of demon to and use my size changing ability to get as big as I could, so that Chaos and the robot guy could fight against me. Well, it was a different robot guy after that. I think he had like some. It was like. Ever seen Star Wars?
I'm not too familiar with it, but I've seen a few clone troopers about, and there has.
Do you know the big machines? Like the big 2-leg machines with the big guns and stuff? It was like that, but with like electric swords.
Interesting.
That's the best I could like describe it as, because I know it's from something else, but like a different like universal plane, but than Star Wars, but like I can't remember the exact plane.
Of course.
So I have seen those types of.
And have you gotten a chance to interact with some of the fellow combatants within Fight Finder?
Yes, I did mention Chaos before. Me and him did a bit of chatting when we first met, and a few times after a fight, and I think me and him could get to be very good friends if we work together more and stuff. We did very well working together. We actually came up with a couple combo attacks mid-fight against the creature Ren brought during that day.
Yes, one thing I have come to learn is that a lot of people can find people they can mesh well with and figure out ways to kind of like utilize a lot of more tag team tactics with ones that they can mesh well with that can complement one's own skill.
Me and Chaos actually work very well together, I think, too. Because our fight styles basically they basically go hand in hand in a way when it comes to tag team.
Right.
Especially with me, with my like ability to change my size and stuff, I can grow or shrink however I want. So, like, is it okay if I bring out one of my weapons?
Sure, that is quite all right.
I've got these.
Oh.
They're basically claw gauntlets, but one of our tag team attacks we did, I leant down and let him get on my hand because I had grown really tall, and I basically launched him at the enemy.
Wow.
And then I dashed forwards and hit the enemy and then ducked to let him hit right after me.
Wow.
Yeah. I know.
Quite the
and I keep
move.
all my weapons basically in like a kind of dimensional storage.
I see.
So I can basically summon them at any time.
Oh. Well, that is quite useful in having a quick switch between different weapons like that.
Yeah. It also makes it hard for people to disarm me because, like, if they do, I can just make my weapon go back into the dimensional rift and pull it back out right away.
A very useful skill. And have you had, so out of curiosity, in your own opinion, is there a fighter that kind of stands out to you as a role model that you've encountered, or do you have yet to really find someone that will fit that description?
Well, I've only been to one fight so far, and there was only a few people there. I would say, though, because I went through the list a little while ago, like when I first joined, like of different fighters and what they're capable of. One of the fighters I am possibly looking forward to meeting would was I think it was Iris something.
Hmm.
Let me just Iris Eden.
Hmm.
Their defensive abilities seem like something I'd like to try to learn at some point, or even test myself against.
I see.
'Cause from what I read, the defenses are very, very high.
Mm-hmm.
I myself am like more power based, not very good at defensive combat. Though my gauntlets do have like shield generators in them, like a kind of like a rune
Mm-hmm.
was carved into them. If you had noticed up near the back, there's a little white symbol right here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are shield generators.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So they can create like a shield that can block a good amount of damage, and like if I do this or this and charge forward, I can also use the shield as a knockback thing and like hit someone and push them back with it if I dash forward by doing that.
Interesting. Interesting. Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of strength to do though,
Mm-hmm.
because some enemies you can't push back that easy because they're either solid as like a mountain or just very well built.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But I would like to learn more from like some of the more defensive fighters if possible at some point.
I see.
Sorry, that was kind
No, it's quite all right. It is nice to see that there are those that are wishing to learn from all the other combatants and try and learn new skills, things to add to their repertoire and whatnot. Because again, a lot of us are here as combatants. We're gladiators. We all have our own styles, but it's always nice to see other people trying to adopt ways to kind of fight similar to us or ways to combat us. So it gives us more of a challenge, in a lot of these battles.
Yeah. If I had to put fighters into 3 classes, it would be DPS or heavy hitter.
Mm.
Those would both go into damage class.
All right.
Tank, so people who can like withstand a good beating and just keep going.
Mm.
Basically, my idea of a tank is like someone who can take an onslaught of just barrage attacks and just keep moving forward without like basically carrying.
Mm-hmm.
Or healer. Think of it like an RPG in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Healer is the support for people that will like either enhance their allies' strengths or unstrengths, basically. Ones that are weaker at like defense with magic or skills. Tanks which are like built to absorb damage, and then the damage dealers which are
Mm-hmm.
either heavy hitters or DPS.
Right.
In my eyes, I'm more of a DPS fighter.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I like to get hits in as fast and hard as I can, while always on the move.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kinda like a ninja, but like without all the poofing and reappearing things.
Right.
Sorry to any ninjas out there if I was insulting.
Oh, I don't think they would mind too much, but yeah. Also, have you found yourself like a favorite fighter, like someone that you have seen fight and like, gotten like really excited and you kind of like find yourself trying like rooting for them every time they step into the arena, or have yet to see find someone that like that, given that you haven't really been around that long?
Yeah, I've only been to one so far, but I'd say I'd like to see more of Ren fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know him from one of the worlds in the metaverse where we're actually co-workers.
Interesting.
And I haven't seen him fight much, so every time I do end up seeing him fight, it always makes me, like, very excited because you never know what he's gonna pull out next.
Mm-hmm.
No way. I do know he's got, like, a very wide variety of, like, abilities, skills, and attacks and powers at his arsenal. But at the same time, he's like one of those people that aren't, like, very... It's hard to get along with, in a way. Because, like, he's very surly and... kind of like a loner, in a way.
I see.
He's not, like, someone you can get, like, not like someone that seems, like, very friendly off the bat. But there was a while ago when, he got in a fight where he almost didn't return from. And I actually panicked, because I consider him a type of role model as well, as going back to that role model question. Because he doesn't fight much, but when he fights, you know he's fighting to win, usually. And I've never really seen him get mad, but I feel like if he ever got mad, or, like, in a way went rogue, he would be... Think of, like, in a video game, how there's, like, the big final bad boss. He's beyond that difficulty.
Wow.
He's one of those people that you don't want to get on the bad side of, because he could quite literally make your life a living hell.
Well, he does sound like quite the combatant.
He's the little blue cat robot guy.
I see.
I think you might have seen him before.
Possibly.
He's one of... quite a bit older of a fighter than me, so... Like, not age-wise, but, like,
well, he has
in general.
yet to be on my show, but I am excited to meet him eventually. But, of course, kind of shift gears a little bit, but I'm not sure if this is...
He's not exactly someone that, like...
Right, of course.
Doesn't like... public.
No, not many do, but, you know... But, have you kind of witnessed a fighter that you would see as like a rival, someone that you'd want to like overcome or like surpass one day?
Two, actually, and they're both ones I've mentioned before. Chaos and Ren.
I see.
Those... Chaos, I feel I'm pretty much on par with speed and strength-wise. Though Ren is like one of those... Ren is like the one I want to eventually surpass at some point if I can. If we were considering his amount of strength versus mine, I'd say I was an ant and he was like a normal mountain, like Mount Fuji or something. One of the tallest mountains in the world.
Wow. So he is
So,
quite the wall for you to overcome.
Yes. And if I ever manage to overcome that wall, I have no idea what I would do next. Because he is one of the strongest people I admire and know in the place where we are co-workers, and to be fair, out of everyone at the place where we are co-workers, him and maybe 2 or 3 others of walls that I do want to surpass. So I'm not sure how many of them are in Fight Finder.
Well, 500 is quite large, so there's probably a couple of them that have entered into the ranks. But that is all the time that we have for today. But thank you for answering all my questions. But before we say goodbye, is there any closing remarks? Anything you want to promote? Anyone you want to call personally before we end off this little segment here?
I do want to say to all the fighters out there, good luck, and I hope your fights are fruitful.
Alright then, well, thank you very much for coming on to my show and taking the time to sit down here and have a chat with me, and I do hope to see your career grow in the future as you continue to be a combatant here at Firefinder.
And thank you for having me here.
Well, folks, that's the end of our show. Hope you all enjoyed watching, as much as I enjoyed talking with all these wonderful people. But, again, I will see you all next week for another episode of Finding the Fighter. But, of course, stay tuned. As up next, as always, we have Cooking with Firearms. Yes. So, do stay tuned for that, and I hope you all enjoy. This is Rex Jessenton, signing off.